Hello and welcome. Today we are talking directly about an important 2026 Social Security change that many seniors may not notice until it affects their monthly income. We are also covering the latest updates involving stimulus payment rumors, pension rules, and benefit changes that matter to older adults across the United States. This is not about complicated financial language or hard-to-follow government terms. This is a clear and practical explanation of what may change, what may stay the same, and what seniors and their families should pay attention to right now. If you receive Social Security, supplemental security income, a pension, Medicare-related benefits, or if you are planning to retire soon, this information matters, because small policy changes can lead to real effects on your monthly budget, medical costs, and long-term retirement security. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us which city you're watching from. Many people hear that Social Security may go up because of the annual cost of living adjustment, often called the COLA, and they assume that means they will simply have more money. But the reality is often more complicated. A monthly increase can be reduced by higher Medicare Part B premiums, rising rent, higher food prices, increased utility bills, and the continuing pressure of inflation on everyday essentials. That is why the 2026 change most seniors may miss is the difference between a benefit increase on paper and real buying power in daily life. As of the latest discussions heading into 2026, Social Security remains a central issue for millions of Americans because the program supports retired workers, disabled individuals, surviving spouses, and many others who depend on these payments to cover basic needs. Each year, the Social Security Administration adjusts benefits based on inflation data. This annual COLA is meant to help benefits keep up with rising prices. However, when inflation slows down compared with previous years, the COLA may also become smaller. That can sound harmless at first, but for seniors already stretched thin, even a smaller annual adjustment can make it harder to keep up with costs that still feel high in real life. This matters because many older adults are still living with the long-term effect of higher prices that built up over recent years. Even if inflation is no longer rising as fast as before, groceries, insurance, prescription drugs, and housing may remain much more expensive than they were a few years ago. In other words, a lower inflation rate does not mean prices go back down. It only means they are rising more slowly. So if the 2026 COLA turns out to be modest, many seniors may feel disappointed because their check may rise only slightly while their bills remain high. This is one of the most important practical realities to understand. Another major issue concerns Medicare. For many Social Security recipients, Medicare Part B premiums are deducted directly from their monthly benefit. That means even if Social Security payments increase in 2026, a higher Medicare premium can reduce the amount of money seniors actually receive. This is one reason many retirees feel that their benefit increase disappears before it ever reaches their bank account. Seniors should pay close attention not just to gross benefit changes, but also to net payments after deductions. The amount deposited matters more than the announced increase. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us which city you're watching from. There is also continued public discussion about the future financial health of Social Security. This issue creates fear, confusion, and sometimes misinformation. It is true that lawmakers continue to debate how to strengthen Social Security for the long term. It is also true that the trust fund issue remains a serious topic in national policy discussions. But many misleading messages make seniors think their benefits will suddenly disappear. That is not how these changes usually happen. If changes are made, they generally come through legislation, long debate, and gradual implementation. For current seniors, the immediate concern is usually not the total disappearance of benefits, but whether payments keep pace with real expenses and whether future rules affect taxes, eligibility, or related programs. For those receiving pensions, 2026 may be especially important because pension income often interacts with Social Security and tax liability. Some retirees receive a private pension, a union pension, a state or local government pension, or retirement income from work that may not have paid into Social Security in the same way as other jobs. Depending on a person's work history, pension amount, and filing status, total retirement income can create tax consequences that reduce how much money is left for living expenses. Even when there is no direct cut to Social Security, taxation and deductions can make seniors feel like they are getting less. Careful planning remains important, especially for people living on multiple income sources. There has also been significant attention on older rules that affected some public sector workers, especially those tied to Social Security reductions for certain pension recipients. Many seniors and future retirees have followed this issue closely because it has affected teachers, police officers, firefighters, and other government employees in some areas. Any changes to these rules can have meaningful consequences for monthly income. Seniors who worked in public service or are married to someone who did should continue reviewing official notices and benefit statements carefully so that they understand whether any adjustment applies to their case. Now, it is important to address stimulus payment news because this is one of the most confusing subjects for seniors. Many older adults continue hearing claims about new federal stimulus checks, surprise payments, or special relief for Social Security recipients. In many cases, these claims spread quickly and create false hope. At the federal level, there is often discussion about financial relief during election years, economic slowdowns, or emergencies, but not every rumor becomes a real payment. Seniors should understand the difference between a proposal, a political statement, and an approved government payment. A proposal is only an idea. It does not mean money is coming. A payment becomes real only after official action is taken and the government announces eligibility, timing, and delivery details. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us which city you're watching from. That said, relief programs can still appear in other forms besides a broad federal stimulus check. Some states offer tax rebates, property tax relief, utility assistance, rent support, prescription help, or direct one-time payments for eligible older adults. These programs are not always called stimulus payments, but for many seniors, they can provide similar help by reducing expenses or putting cash back into the household budget. This is why older adults should not focus only on the phrase stimulus check. Financial relief may come through state credits, local assistance, or expanded benefit programs even when no nationwide check is issued. For seniors receiving supplemental security income, there can also be separate changes tied to federal payment standards, state supplements, and income or resource rules. SSI is different from regular retirement Social Security. It serves people with limited income and resources, including many elderly recipients. If payment amounts change in 2026, that can affect eligibility for other forms of support as well. In some cases, even a small increase in income can influence access to assistance programs, while in other cases, benefit adjustments may improve household stability. Seniors on SSI should review all notices they receive and keep records current so they do not miss an important update. Practical planning is especially important heading into 2026. Seniors should review their annual Social Security statement, check the amount actually deposited each month, and compare that to rising expenses. It is wise to look closely at recurring costs such as rent, mortgage payments, food, medications, insurance, transportation, and utility bills. Even without a dramatic federal change, these everyday expenses determine whether a retirement budget remains manageable. Many people focus only on benefit announcements, but personal budgeting often reveals the true impact of policy changes more clearly than headlines do. It is also important for older adults to watch for scams. Whenever there is public discussion about Social Security increases, stimulus checks, or pension changes, scammers often take advantage of confusion. They may claim that a senior must pay a fee to receive a benefit, verify a number through an unofficial call, or provide banking information to avoid losing payments. Real government agencies do not handle benefits this way. Seniors should be cautious, protect personal information, and avoid reacting to messages that create panic. Clear records, patience, and attention to official mail are safer than rushing because of a rumor. For those nearing retirement, 2026 may also be a reminder that the age at which benefits are claimed can strongly affect monthly income. Claiming early can reduce monthly benefits, while delaying may increase them. This decision does not work the same way for every person because health, savings, employment, and family needs all matter. But one of the most useful lessons is that retirement planning should not be based only on one expected COLA or one election year promise. It should be based on a full picture of income, healthcare costs, debt, housing, and personal needs over time. The most important message today is simple. The 2026 Social Security change most seniors will miss is not just a number in a government announcement. It is the real-world effect of smaller adjustments, higher deductions, continued inflation pressure, benefit coordination, pension interaction, and confusion caused by stimulus rumors. A benefit increase does not always mean greater financial comfort. What matters is how much money remains after deductions and whether that amount is enough to cover essential needs month after month. Seniors who understand this early are in a stronger position to protect their finances and avoid unpleasant surprises. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell us which city you're watching from. As we move toward 2026, older Americans should stay focused on facts, review notices carefully, monitor their monthly deposits, and pay attention to how Social Security, Medicare, pensions, and other support programs work together. This information matters because retirement security is not built on headlines. It is built on understanding how policy changes affect daily life. Seniors have earned these benefits through years of work, contribution, and responsibility, and staying informed is one of the best ways to protect that income. The more clearly people understand these issues now, the better prepared they will be to manage rising costs, avoid misinformation, and make sound decisions for the future.